What's up guys, it's National Master DemApples back again with another video, and today we're going to be going over this. Do you want to get much better at chess but you don't necessarily have all the time in the world? Well, there are 3 simple steps that I've used to get from around a beginner, just starting to learn the rules, to a National Master in, you might say it's a long time, you might not, roughly 7 years. But keep in mind, I was not studying chess that often. And so, here are 3 steps that you can use to study chess really efficiently. Number 1 is to find an opening that you like. I'll just cut to the chase. You just want to find an opening that suits your style. Like if you're an aggressive player, maybe king's pawn openings with e4 are better. They can lead to some very dynamic positions in the fried liver, for example. It gets very messy here. If you're a more positional player or you like calm games, maybe shoot for d4 and play the London system, which we have a video on. If you're a solid player for black, on the other hand, if you're aggressive after e4, you might want to consider learning the Sicilian, although at lower levels, I don't recommend it. It does go against a couple of opening principles, and it can be somewhat hard to play. But it is a fun opening once you get to a certain level. Other fun openings, honestly, the Scandinavian. I've played the Scandinavian up until around 2000 online, or 1800 USCF over the board. And it's been pretty successful. Don't let anyone tell you it's not fun or boring. There are some pretty fun lines if white tries to hang on to this pawn. You can go c6, and these pawn sacrifice lines are pretty cool. There are a multitude of other cool lines. I prefer just taking the pawn. But yeah, there are other openings after e4 as well. If you want to play very solid, I'd probably recommend the Caro-Kann, which we have a video on. Takes, usually happens. It's pretty solid. And yeah, there are lots of openings that you can learn. Let me know down below in the comments if you'd like to see a particular opening, or if you'd like to see a really long opening guide for any particular opening. I will be reading through all of the comments. So again, step number 1 is just to find an opening that suits your style, that you'll like, and basically become the master of that one opening. Number 2 are tactics. You want to do a lot of tactics. It doesn't matter what level you are at. For example, a lot of people use chess.com. Chess.com's Puzzle Rush is a pretty good resource, I would say. My friend National Master Elijah Logazar did do a study on the effects of Puzzle Rush and found that Puzzle Rush is very beneficial for your chess. Additionally, things just normally like chess.com puzzles are pretty good. I've also used this website called chesstempo.com. If you go to their training and then chess tactics, you can find some pretty nice tactics here. And so the reason why tactics are so important is not only do tactics win you pieces, material, checkmates, games, but they're just an essential part, right? You don't want to lose your games to a stupid tactic, and a lot of positional plays are backed by tactical ideas. So if you want to move a knight somewhere, for example, right? Let's say you move it to a square where it can be captured, but you know that your opponent can't capture it because of a tactic, or you move it there to get to a better square as well. So tactics are useful in games and in winning your games and in chess strategy. Additionally, chess tactic books are really good for improving as well. I just showed these 2 resources, chess.com's Puzzle Rush, their normal tactics trainer, and chesstempo.com, both of which are great resources. And the last one I would like to cover is, well, finally, just playing games, Now, here's a game that my editor played very recently, and I'll just use this as an example to demonstrate how you should be analyzing your games. Now, a lot of people don't like analyzing with an engine. I honestly disagree. I believe analyzing with the engine is the way to go. And chess.com's game review, it's good, but it doesn't tell you the whole story. And the difference between just playing and improving is that you analyze your games and not just learn from them, but try to identify what went wrong. So it looks like these are all fine book moves. Bishop d2 is an interesting try from my editor. Queen b4 is a huge blunder, and my editor misses a simple tactic. And so here, what my editor could have done, if I'm not wrong, it looks like knight b5 wins the game immediately with an attack on the queen, and knight takes pawn with a fork. So computer says, oh, you missed. It's not that big of a deal. You just made a miss. No, you went from a winning position, completely winning, to equal, moving back to protect this one little pawn when you could have won the game right away. So it's these little things, right? You can't really trust what the computer says. It's like, oh, you just missed it. No, you could have won the game. Note that knight to b5 does not work. Knight to d5 does not work as well because queen c7 and this pawn is guarded. So let's continue through the game and find more examples. Knight e2. Alright, not that bad. I wouldn't spend too much time on a move like this. It's very logical. It defends the knight, nothing wrong with it. Just keep going. Rook b1. What is this? Now, I wouldn't say rook b1 is a blunder, but it doesn't really do anything, right? Pawn d5 is apparently best, but let's see why pawn d5 is best. Black right now is threatening to just develop his pieces and castle queenside and put pressure on our d-pawn. And this looks pretty bad. So what we realize is that we have to act quickly, and d5 is the way to punish black's move, which, by the way, I would not consider a mistake. And after d5, something like knight e5 can be played. And to me, a move like simply a3, to be honest, or, for example, just moving the bishop out, looks very logical. I probably go for a3, booting the queen. And this is what you do, right? You look through your game, see what you could have done, what you should have done, and learn from it. e6, a3. Again, bishop e3 is the best move, but this looks fine to me. Bishop d2, and here is where I would be critical. Computer just says inaccuracy, but I think this is not great because you are giving up your bishop for a knight, which you generally don't want to do voluntarily. And his opponent, again, I would have spent more time. It's not a good move. Obviously, you take the bishop when you get a chance to, but oh well. And now, again, both sides are just missing everything, and white missed a nice chance to go ed5 and b4, which honestly doesn't look very likely that they would see after queen b6 and bishop e3, and black's queen is in big trouble. I'll just show that right now. Yeah, not very easy to see, so I wouldn't spend too much time on the things that are really hard to see. But again, yeah, white is playing logical moves. Black's also playing somewhat logically, and bishop a4. Like, why would you go bishop a4? It's usually the ones that are like miss and mistake and blunder that you want to pay attention to, but sometimes you gotta look at inaccuracies. And so bishop a4 is a miss. What could white have played? Well, it looks like d5 was very strong still, just trying to open up the position, because bishop a4 doesn't really do anything. And after something like, if pawn takes, pawn b4 is very strong. The queen is practically trapped. And yeah, the queen is trapped now. So, very nice. And this is a simple tactic that you can see. So, you just gotta learn from them. And so, let's continue the game. Black gives up a bishop for no apparent reason. Wins this. And yeah, this is an important moment in the game. Black thought that he was getting away with a piece because he thought after takes, well, he's up a pawn. Unfortunately, this does not work as well for him as he thought due to a tactic, and this is why you gotta study your tactics. Bishop takes pawn is the correct move. Black studied his tactics, but he didn't do it well enough, because after takes, yes, he does win a pawn. But after bishop takes knight and pawn takes, we have rook to a1, winning the bishop safely, right? The bishop cannot move because of a pin. Very nice tactic there. And black has to take here, but after it takes, white is still up a piece. So this is why it's important to know your tactics, and yeah, that's why it's number 2 on this list. But again, analyzing your games like this is important. Just look for the main things like your misses and your mistakes and your blunders, and see what you could have done instead. And most of the time, these can be solved through tactics. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.